Okay, so I've had a couple of people ask me to do a Minion hat, and so I'm going to do a video for that. It did take me 2 times to get it right. This was my first one, and it wasn't the greatest. She still loves it, but it looks more like a one-eyed monster. So this was my second one. Looks a little bit better. And this is what we'll be working on today. So we will be working with the green loom, and the first thing you'll want is your yarn of choice, and you do want to double your yarn to make sure that it is thick, because if you don't double your yarn, you can see through. You'll be able to see through more. It'll be thinner like that. So you want to double your yarn, and we're going to do our slip knot. And this is going to be an ear flap hat. So on my ear flap video, you can see that I use colored pegs to mark where we're going to put the ear flaps. And on the green loom, you're going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's going to be the 6th one. And then from that one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It'll be the 7th one. Do that on both sides of your peg right here. So we're going to put our yarn on there. And we're going to start with the ear flap. And you're going to take both and just wrap it from one blue peg to the next, and then you're going to go back, and this will be your first row. Now for the ear flaps on this one, I'm going to do 8. You can do more or less, however long you want your ear flap to be. Just a second while I find my hook. Okay, so now we're going to loom over our first row. Alright, and then we're just going to go back the opposite way, back to the other blue peg. So this is our second row. And we're going to do this, we're going to do 8 rows. Okay, we're going to do our last row. Like I said, you can do more than 8 rows. 8 rows just seems to work for me and my girls. It seems to cover a perfect amount without being too long. So whatever you feel is enough for your child, or for you, or whoever you're making it for. Okay, so after you have those 8 rows done, you're going to clip your yarn you're going to make another slip knot, and you're going to do the other side. starting on the blue peg and going to the other blue peg. Again, we're going to do 8 rows. Okay, so now you can either cut this and start at the beginning peg, or you can just keep going around it as normal. I am going to keep going around it as normal just for so that you don't have another tail to have to try and tuck in. I used to start from the front so that it was easier to count my pegs, but I don't really have to do that anymore. So we're gonna go all the way around. And we're going to stop when we get back. And you're going to loop over. And then all these that are double rows where you made your ear flap, you're going to loop over. Okay, so you're going to continue going that same direction. I go counterclockwise because I'm left-handed, but you can go whichever way you want. Now there's no exact science to this, but I'm going to do 6 rows of the blue. Depending on the length that you're wanting your hat, you can do more or less. I have it down to 6 blue, and then you're going to change to do 12 yellow, and then change and do 5 black, and then change back and do 8 yellow. My kids have big heads, so if you wanted to make a smaller hat, you could take it down 1 row per color, but you want to try and keep them a little evened out, so that you don't end up with like too much yellow in between the hat like I did on my first one. I ended up with way too much yellow, and I ended up with way too much black. You want it to be more even like my second hat, so that it looks better. So we're gonna continue around and do 6 more rows.